Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And on today's Going In Raw News Brief, we're going to get a packed house for WrestleMania. We're definitely going to preview AEW and NXT. But first, was WWE planning Drew McIntyre versus Tyson Fury? Larson, what's in the news?
So, Drew McIntyre and Tyson Fury have been kind of going back and forth on social medias for months now.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently, that wasn't just a coincidence or by accident. Inside the Ropes is reporting that, quote, before the coronavirus pandemic took a hold of the world, WWE had some exciting plans for UK fans. Multiple sources tell Inside the Ropes that WWE wanted Drew McIntyre versus Tyson Fury for the WWE title to headline a UK pay-per-view this year. The report continues. Sources say WWE was keen to capitalize on McIntyre becoming the first ever British world champion in the company and the hunger of the UK fan base for a big-time pay-per-view. So while I'm a huge double thumbs up on huge pay-per-view in the United Kingdom, not so much a huge thumbs up for the main event being Drew versus Tyson Fury. I'm sure it'll draw well at the box office. It'll get plenty of eyeballs on the product, I guess. The match wouldn't be very good, though.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I mean, Drew McIntyre isn't around to have 5-star matches.
He's a really good wrestler. He's a good wrestler. He put on fun matches.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Puts on good matches. I don't really care about that with him, though. I care more about him, like, claymoring people's heads off. You know, I mean, he had the ambulance match. That wasn't that great. His match against, probably the best match he's had in recent history is against, well, no, the Dolph Ziggler stuff was fun. But I don't know. I'd be totally into this. Tyson Fury's a really, really good talker. He's pretty damn funny. He's a huge name. It'd be a massive, massive deal for the WWE. It'd bring in all sorts of fan interest. I think it could be a really, really fun feud. Tyson Fury is one of those guys who, he's not like over the hill. It's not like, some guy who, he is relevant today. He is relevant now in a massive way.
I understand.
This would be like Tyson at his peak against, when was Tyson? Like 89 against like Hulk Hogan. I mean, that's what this is.
The popularity of Mike Tyson vastly outpaced the popularity of Tyson Fury, I feel like, in terms of mainstream circles. I feel like everybody knew who Mike Tyson was when Mike Tyson was at his peak in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't know how well-known Tyson Fury is outside of boxing circles, though.
I think he's probably more well-known than you think, but not as well-known as Tyson. I totally agree with that. I mean, Tyson was the Jordan of boxing. I mean, that's in terms of name recognition.
Name. Yeah,
he was a household name.
Yeah.
I don't know what Tyson Fury's household name is like in the UK. I imagine it's probably distinctly bigger than it is here.
Oh, definitely.
But no, this would be a huge deal. I'd be totally into this. Yeah, this would be great. I'd be into this. Who else coming out of WWE UK would headline like a big deal like this?
Oh, Walter.
Well, that'd be cool, but
imagine if the main event for this pay-per-view was Walter versus Drew. Man, that would get me excited.
Yeah, but that wouldn't really draw all that much. Like, people would be into it.
Here's the thing. If you put a pay-per-view in the United Kingdom, you could probably get 100,000 people because it never happens. Hasn't happened in 30-plus years.
Yeah, sure.
Years, sorry. So it's going to sell out regardless.
Yeah, it wouldn't get the press that this would get. This would be like next-level press, dude. WWE would be foolish not to capitalize on this.
Yeah, brother. Something else to be excited about, Steve. Something else I'm not excited about.
I just said the word foolish. That's the perfect segue for this next one.
I was going to say something I'm not excited about. Stadium shows returning anytime soon, yet Florida seems to insist. Steve, what do we got here?
Oh, this is ridiculous, man. This is foolish. So about a week ago, we talked about an Inside the Ropes report, which stated that WWE tentatively planned on moving WrestleMania 37 from Los Angeles back to Tampa, and one would assume that's because it's more likely that Vince and company could have a crowd in attendance. Today, John Alba tweeted something that leads us to believe, there's going to be a crowd in attendance, a massive super spreading crowd. This is what he had to say. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has given the Miami Dolphins full clearance to run with 65,000 fans at their stadium. Now, apparently, the Dolphins have said, no, we're not going to do that.
They're going to have their own capacity limits, which, good on the Dolphins for.
I don't know what this would be, if this would be WrestleMania. That wouldn't shock me, maybe. But I wonder if there's an organization out there that would be okay with this. That would be like, oh, 65,000 people. If they could draw that, sign us up. And then you get just a disaster on your hands. Anyways, the tweet continues. If WrestleMania were to move to Raymond James Stadium, this would indicate WWE could probably do the same. That doesn't mean it should, but it likely could, end quote.
Well, he continues. There's
tweet.
more.
Okay.
I guess I'll take care of this one. Quote, Governor Ron DeSantis' office tells me all sports teams can run with as many fans as they want. Full capacity, half capacity, whatever. It's all because Florida is moving into phase 3. An official from DeSantis' office told Alba, quote, sports franchises can do as they please and they don't need clearance from the state. Alba concludes this is in accordance with Florida's move to phase 3. WrestleVotes has a little bit more here. Quote, the state of Florida will begin allowing full capacity attendance for stadium events. Vince has been privately holding out hope for a full capacity WrestleMania. He gets his wish. Whether or not 65,000 fans show up is another question. Oh, dear.
Let's see here. I'm looking at the latest info. This is from today from the Palm Beach Post. Florida has over 15,000 fatalities now from COVID. I don't know where that registers comparatively to other states. I do know. Oh, here we go. Okay, Florida has according to the Palm Beach Post, Florida has had the 5th highest number of deaths among the 50 states. Only New York, Texas, California, and New Jersey have had more. New Jersey, wow. I imagine, are all those states more populous than Florida, though?
California and New York, I would say. Yes.
Definitely, yeah.
Texas, probably. New Jersey, right? Probably not.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. I was trying to get like a comparative map off the top of my head here. But,
yeah. Scientists, medical professionals have for months been warning of what could potentially happen now that we're on the precipice of winter in relation to this pandemic, whether things are going to get a lot worse, just strictly based on the season.
Mm-hmm.
And if they start opening things up, just like here in Sacramento area, you can dine inside of a restaurant now. Seems too soon. You know, when we're in level red, like red, in my mind, still means stop, you know?
Yeah, no, I know.
Like purple is the worst level, and so that's when like indoor stuff is closed. But now they're in red. You know, you can start having indoor dining in some places, and I don't know. It still feels much too soon. Feels way too soon.
Yeah, so Florida has almost 3 times the number of people that Florida has 21.5 million. Jersey has almost 9 million.
Okay.
So it's about 2.5 more. So yeah, dude, this would not be good if they try to do this stuff. And in fact, given how much flack they've received and how every time they have a conference call, they have to answer questions about COVID. We've seen, their biggest superstar, Roman Reigns, sit out because he wasn't comfortable with the COVID stuff. I would be surprised, but not shocked if they went ahead with this. I would be surprised though, with like trying to pack a house. Now,
yeah, I would be surprised if they tried to sell every seat. Yes.
We also don't know. Like, we'll know a lot more. I mean, that's going to be having gotten through, the winter months. You're heading into summer. You're well into spring at that point in April. So. We don't know what the status of a vaccine will be. I mean, there's early reports that like the first wave of vaccines are going to be hitting around then. That's, certainly doesn't mean everybody. There's a lot of factors that we just don't know, including federal response. If the administration changes hands, I don't know if, Biden has said that, you can't institute a national mask mandate, but you can encourage the governors and you can encourage them financially, hey, if you meet certain benchmarks, you will have more federal aid, stuff like that.
But even from a different perspective, if the president of the United States goes everywhere with a mask on, people are going to think, oh, this is, he's the leader of the country. This is what we should all be doing. As opposed to the moron in the White House now who tests positive. First thing he does when he gets to the White House is takes his mask off.
Well, also you see videos of his labored breathing, and I mean, here's the thing. Regardless of what he's telling his doctors in terms of his own self-diagnosis, he ain't out of the woods yet.
Nope.
There is a distinct possibility he's going to get worse before it gets better for him.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff matters.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of too early to tell. Maybe by April it'll be in the all clear. You can start packing stadiums again. I don't really think that's going to be the case. But we'll
if you're
see.
talking April 2022, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's obvious they're going to have, unless something catastrophic happens, there's going to be fans. It's just a matter of how many. Are they going to pack stadiums?
What percentage of the stadium will be filled up? Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Speaking of fans and stadiums, there will be some, maybe a little bit, at AEW Dynamite tonight. It is 30 years of Jericho, a celebration honoring the career of Chris Jericho. This is what they got on tap for the episode. We got Chris Jericho and Jake Hager taking on Luther and Serpentico. We got an FTW title match, Brian Cage versus Will Hobbs. Big Swole be taking on Serena Deeb. And I would assume the main event. This should be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Brody Lee versus Cody. Please let Brody Lee win.
I'm with you on that one. We have an NXT preview as well. Interestingly enough, there has not been any advertisements for Finn Balor or Kyle O'Reilly. I hope we get an update on these guys.
I know, me too. I mean, I would not be surprised about an hour or two before showtime. There's a tweet saying that Finn Balor's got a major announcement or something. That's just speculation on my part.
I'm with you. I think that would not surprise me at all if that happened. Ember Moon's going to kick off NXT tonight, though. And Kushida and Tommaso Ciampa are set for competition. Does that mean they're going to fight each other, or are they just both going to be in action?
The idea is that they're going to have a match against each other.
Oh, that should be a lot of fun. That should be cool. I mean, it'll probably have a wonky finish, but that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah. Anyways, so hopefully you'll join us tonight for our AEW recap live on the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Leave us comments. Of course, what was that first story we talked about today? I just talked about Drew versus Tyson. You want to see Drew versus Tyson Fury? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.